Is it possible to know that you live on a ball? Is that even possible? So people always say, prove it, prove it, prove that the earth is flat. What they don't understand is that it's almost impossible to prove that you live on a ball. Now, this is what you have to understand. You can't see all sides of a ball at the same time. So right there, you have a faith-based position. You might have a ball, but if you do have a ball, you have the planes within the ball. So we live within the planes of the ball, if it is a ball. Now, flat earthers are looking out at the horizons and they're looking out from the ocean shores, and we're saying it's just a plane. We can't measure your curve. At 8 inches per mile squared, at every mile, you should have 8 inches of curvature. And when they go and measured it, they don't have any curvature. And we say, we don't see your ball. Now, if you take a basketball and you write your initials on one side of the basketball, you have to turn the basketball around to see your initials. You can't see all points of the basketball at the same time. So if you did live in a sphere, how would you know? How would you know? And they always act like it's easy and simple. And they use this like hypnotism type of language. They go, it's easy, it's easy. There was a Greek guy named Eratosthenes who figured it out by measuring a shadow. So he did plane trigonometry because he knew the difference between his town, which is called Sin, and Alexandria. And they always act like him and the other guy didn't know each other. Like, did they know each other? You're telling me they didn't know each other? They always act like, oh, they just ran into this experiment. So the sun hits directly at the bottom of a well on summer solstice. Now, a guy's gone out and his name is Dave Murphy, to see if the sun rays actually hit the bottom of the well or if they come in at an angle. And guess what? They come in at an angle every time. And they come in at an angle at the other place. So at the other town in Alexandria, the light rays came in at an angle and there was a stick outside of the well. It just happened to be a stick and a pole outside of this well. And they just act like it was just random. And the stick had a shadow of 7 degrees. And then they do plane trigonometry to get their triangle. And then they do circular trigonometry off of their triangle to get their sphere. And they got 25,000 miles in circumference. Ball math. Now, I bring this up because people always say, prove it, prove it, prove it. Well, what you have to understand is the onus is on you. It's very hard to prove that you live on a ball. How would we know? Because we live on a plane. The world maps that they give us don't work. The Gleason map does work. It's a projection onto a plane. They say it comes from a globe, but globes have never been used to navigate. You take the lines, the meridian lines, off of north and you straighten them out, and the maps actually work. The Mercator map, which probably was an AE map, and it probably was a map that worked, and then they just gave us a version of it so they wouldn't have to admit that the Earth was a plane. Anyways, that map doesn't work as a world map. It just doesn't. So proving that it's a ball is very hard. If you go at a certain distance above the Earth, would you see the Earth? Well, we don't have any proof that they've been above 120,000 feet. There's no telemetry data that says they've been up 120,000 feet. And I challenge anybody to show me telemetry data that they have. You won't find the printouts. You won't have it. NASA doesn't have it. They don't have their telemetry data. They won't give you the telemetry data. Get the telemetry data from the missions they say that go up to International Space Station. They won't give it to you. They won't give you the telemetry data that says they go up there. Get it for me. We can't get it from NASA. They won't give it to us. They don't have it. They just ignore us. They ignore our request to get it. So it's just very interesting when you look into flat Earth. You'll see people say, prove it, prove it, prove it, like it's so easy to prove that it's a globe. It's not easy to prove that it's a globe. On top of that, if it works on a ball, it can work on a plane. What we do experience on this plane is what we experience. And it is the level places on your ball. So it is a plane. So we do live on a plane. Is that plane in a ball? Is that plane in a prism? Is that plane in a dream inside a government's mind? Or is it in a dream in a God's mind? In the first 1 and 2, the waters is a plane, and then the land is 3-dimensional, height, depth, and width, and then time is 4th-dimensional on another vanishing point. But you can't see it from all the same perspectives. You have to either trust somebody, you have to go there yourself, and then you're moving from that vanishing point to another vanishing point. And then you have to use this thing called faith. It is a faith-based position that the Earth is a sphere. It's just 100% earth-based, faith-based position. And on top of that, the faith is based on these phony baloney pictures, and I don't know how you decipher whether they're real or not. That's crazy that you think they're real or not. They won't let us circumnavigate Antarctica. They won't let us independently explore it, and you would just never know that you live on a ball. You just never would know. Just start playing with balls and look at balls. The sun is 93 million miles away, and it's 109 times bigger than the Earth. And yet there's what, like 6 time zones in North America alone? I mean, that's ridiculous. The sun would just light up one whole side of your ball. But it's tilted and spinned, and I would like a better explanation on how they have so many time zones. How many time zones are there worldwide? There's a lot. What about in Australia? When they show the pictures of Australia, it looks like the sun hits from 93 million miles away, and it's 109 times bigger than Australia. No, on the flat Earth model, it's local, it's close, and it's small. And it moves in and out from the North Pole, doing circles around the North Pole, slower and right above the North Pole, and then it goes faster as it goes around the Earth. Around the circumference of the Earth in the winter, at winter solstice. That's why it's winter in Australia when it's summer in America. Pretty simple. It works. Sun sets out of your perspective. It looks like it's going vertically, but it's really just going horizontally because you're looking at it at an angle. That's all it is. And the proofs of flat Earth are objectively true, and the proofs of globe Earth are theoretically true if you say that theories are true. Science says as long as the theory is based in the system that says the Earth is a ball and is spinning and there's outer space and David Rockefeller's money gives you money to fund it, then the theories are true. Other than that, theories are not true. Theories are just hypotheses.
Science does not prove anything ever. That's not what science does. Science can disprove things, but science puts forward models that correlate data and make predictions. And the more that the predictions are validated and verified, the stronger that model becomes, and the more it must therefore correlate with reality. But scientists don't use the word prove, right?
This thing called science. And then if they're in this thing called science, then they can be considered true even if there's no proof. And it's no proof. It's globe Earth theory. That's all it is. They have a theory, and then they have big money houses promoting that theory because it's pantheism and they want to be gods, and then they want you to be their little deities to worship them because all they can do is distribute life, and they want to distribute life poorly to make us suffer. They want us to be their slaves. That's all it is. They're demons.